Gardeners, remember each week as we bring you good content, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notification. We appreciate it so much. It helps the channel and helps us to be able to bring more content to you. Thanks so much. Hey gardeners, this is Jeff, the Whirlwind Family Farm, and today we're just going to take a quick look at why I have this black material on our high tunnels. And I get that question each year from some people because they notice when they come out to this market garden in the wintertime, they don't see it. Or if they're here in the fall, they don't see it. And this is shade cloth. And we buy our shade cloth from Farmer's Friend. They're not a sponsor. But as we've mentioned before, we are located in the Texas Hill Country, central part of Texas. And you know, just about any part of Texas can be very hot in the summertime. For example, today we're in the early part of June, and today we hit close to 99 degrees. And for plants or for your vegetables such as tomatoes or cucumbers, that heat can really be devastating, and it can cause leaf curl, and you start to lose those plants and they're just not as vigorous as they normally would be. And if you go on the Farmer's Friend website, they talk about that shade cloth can reduce your temperatures as much as 10 degrees, and it is absolutely true. So we'll take a quick walk through the farm and take a look at this shade cloth and explain a little bit about it. So shade cloth, how do we apply it? How do we use it? Quite simply, on those hot days, as we were talking about, we have to have that protection for a lot of the plants that we grow, tomatoes, cucumbers, and others as well. But the shade cloth is easy to apply. It's usually a two-man job, but what we do is we come down, and at Farmer's Friend, you can go on their website and you can see the kits, is they have the little connection clips, and then you can go down to your bottom clip of your support rods that come down on the high tunnel, and that's where it's tied off and anchored down. So it makes it fairly simple. Once you get the shade cloth pulled over, those clips can be put on and tied down. So it's a simple thing to get the shade cloth on, and then when we get to the fall, it's a quick job to be able to take them off. I will mention one other thing. We use wiggle wire, which comes in the kit. You can see the wiggle wire up close right here where it goes into that channel, the same way that the plastic is put on, and it goes in the channel and holds that shade cloth here on the ends. So the next question is, in your area, what type shade cloth would you use? And the answer is fairly straightforward. If you're raising more types of vegetables or lettuces where you need more shade protection, you'll go with what they call a 50 level. We use a 50, which is the highest. It's the tightest thread count, or the tightest that keeps the sun out. So that's a 50. They also have a 30. So depending on where you live, and one of the rules of thumbs, they say the 40th parallel, which if you draw a line just above Kansas, say in the United States, you're above the 40th parallel line, so you're going to have a little less direct sunlight. It's going not quite be as brutal and hot, so you may go with a 30 shade cloth. Here in Texas, we go with a 50. The other consideration may be if lettuces and things that need to be a little bit cooler longer, you may decide even above those areas, higher latitudes such as Kansas, Nebraska, you may decide to go with a 50 if you have a raising or growing those lettuces. So that is shade cloth in a nutshell. It is easy to put on, easy to take off, but it can make a big difference in those vegetables that you're growing that need that little bit of extra cooling. That's why these high tunnels are so important, is because they extend the season in the fall and the winter, but they also can make a difference in areas such as Texas or New Mexico or Arizona, where we get that really intense sunlight and you need that better shade. So think of shade cloth. In those situations, it's a great way to go here at Whirlwind Family Farm.